Hey guys, good evening. Today I'm going to do another lesson on a song called Too Young to Fall in Love by Motley Crue from the album Shout of the Devil. The song is tuned down whole step in the key of D. Um, and for this song I'm going to use my Paul Reed Smith S2 single cut. The reason why I'm using this because this guitar has a really nice mid-range, mid-tone to it. The song with the when you tune down the D, you want a beautiful mid-tone as well. So I think this guitar is perfect to use to teach the song. Again, all my strings are tuned down to whole step. Because of this, you want to make sure that you use heavy gauge string because it's going to be floppy if you don't use heavy string. I'm using 10 to 52. The normal set of string in gauge 10 is 10 to 46. The last low E string is gauge 46. But this particular set, my lowest string is gauge 52, which is a heavy bottom strings. It has a heavier bass sound, and the strings will not be so floppy when you tune it down whole step. So again, it's tuned down whole step. So my low E string is now D. Instead of A, I have a G string. Instead of D, I have C. Instead of G, I have F. Instead of B, I have A. Instead of E, I have D again. Now when I call out the strings, I'm going to probably call out in this normal notes. So for this particular one, just remember, you have to tune down whole step because the song will not sound right if you don't. You can tune down half step, it still sound okay, but if you want to sound just like the record, you want to have that really low bottom smooth tone to it, you want to tune it down whole step. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing you want to do with the song is you slide down from 17th fret on the low E string all the way down. About halfway down the neck, and you'll play the open A string. Okay, it goes like this. Okay, and after that you play the 7th fret with D and G together. I use my ring finger and my pinky. Palm it on the open A string, and then D7, G5. Palm it on the A string twice. And I move my hand down, and I use my ring finger and my pinky to play the 5th fret of D and G. Palm it on the A once, and then D5, G4, D5, G5. Well, so far with this. So that's the main riff. So you got to keep playing that until you get it down. Okay, now after you play that first time, you play the open E string and 3rd fret on the E. And you play the same riff again. The second time you'll play the low E and 1st fret on the E. And you repeat the same riff again. Now, one thing I want to mention is that Mick Mars, when he played this live, when he plays it, he doesn't use, like me, he doesn't use ring finger and pinky. He just bar it like a power chord on those 2 notes. And then after you play that, of course you got to move your hands up so you can do the inversion of D7 and G5. So he'll do something like, he'll play like this. And I'll do this. But sometimes I'll do it like he does too. So whatever works for you. Next part. Open E string twice, palm mute, and then E power chord at 7th position. Open E string twice, D power chord at the 5th position. Open palm mute on the low E string twice. 8th fret, which is a F power chord. Open E string twice, and then back to E power chord. And then on the A string, 3rd and 2nd fret, and then 3rd on the E. So, and then back to the whole riff again. The second time when he plays it, he'll play the same riff right here twice. He'll go. After he played the E chord, he played it 3 more times. And repeat again. So it goes like this. Okay, the verse riff is going to go like this. Okay, so what I'm doing is I play, after you play that, 3-2 on the A and 3rd on the E, play open A string again, and he'll just, he'll play the D7 and G5 together, and then palm mute twice on the A string. He does it 4 times. Actually, I'm sorry, he does it 3 times. The first time it goes like this, it goes. He'll pause for a second after the 3rd time. And then palm mute 1 time on the open A string, and he'll play that inversion again 1 more time. And they play these a G power chord at the in middle strings right here, middle section, D5 and G7. Okay, go. And they move down. They play the F chord at this 3rd fret position, which is D3 and G5. And he will play that. He'll play 1 chord and palm mute on the A string twice. He does that 4 times. And the last time, on the 5th time, he'll play that 1 chord or the F on the 3rd fret, and he moves down and then moves up, and they play the G chord at the 5th position. So the whole thing slowly goes like this. Now the second, after you play that part, you'll go back to that. Now this time, the second time you play that, you'll play it 4 times. On the 5th time, you'll do the inversion, the D5 G. I'm sorry, the D7 G5, and then D5 G7, and then you move down. And you play the F chord at the 3rd fret position again. It's exactly the same. So whole thing slowly. So far we have this. I'm gonna play it slowly for you. Now the last time before he goes to before the end of the verse, he'll, instead of move up to the G chord at the 5th position, he'll play it twice on the D3 and G5, and after that he goes. So what I'm doing is I'll play the 2nd fret of D and the 4th fret on a G. And then palm mute on the 2nd fret on the D string 6 times. And and then you play the F chord, the third D3 and G5, and palm it on the 3rd fret 6 times, and move back down again. Last time goes, he does it twice like that, and then he plays the power chord from the 2nd fret, 3rd to 5th fret, and back to the main riff again. Okay. Okay, the first phrase of the solo goes like this. So what I'm doing is I play the 7th fret on the E string 7 times. The best thing to do is count it 4 times and 3 times. And then 3 more times on the 7th fret. And then 5, E5 and E7. E4, E5, B6, E4, B5, B6, and then play the B5 again, hammer on, pull off on 6th fret, and then 7th fret on the G. Do that 3 times. Actually 4 times together, and then play the 5th fret again on the B, and then play the 7th fret on the G, bend up full step 3 times. So slowly. All right. Next phrase goes like this. Now every time the downbeat, you do this. You play the 4, 5, 7 on the G string. Every time there's a quarter beat, you play twice. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, so you do it twice. 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. That's one beat. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So really quickly you're gonna, and after you do that, it goes 4, 5, 7 again, but slower, almost half time, and then 6, 5 on the B and 7 on the G, and then E5, B6, B5, G7, B6, 5. So your group of 3 notes in per string. I'm sorry, group of 3 notes. So the last part goes like, so the second phrase again. And then you move up to 10th fret on the B string. You play 10, 12, and 13 on the B string. Same thing, same rhythm we just did. You play that pattern twice per beat. So basically 8 times. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you move up to 12 on the E string. You do 12, 13, and 15 fret. And you do it 3 times. And then 12 fret on the E string twice. Pause just a second. Go. And 15 fret on the E string. You bend up 4 times. So the whole thing slowly, right? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Last phrase goes like this. Back to that whole riff again. Alright, so the last phrase goes like this. Group 4 notes together. So you go from B15, E12, E13, and back to B15. And then E12, B13, 15, and B12. And then B13, G14, B12, G12. And then you move your hand down, B10, G10, and then B12 and pull off on 10. Okay, so far with this. And then it's on the 9th fret on the G. And then you play 10th fret on the G string, pull off on 9th fret, and then 12 on the G, 12 on the D, and 9th on the G. Do that whole thing again one more time. That's twice. And you play 10th fret on the G string, and play 12th fret on the G string twice, pull off on 10th fret. 12th fret on the D, and 9 on the G. So the whole thing slowly goes like this. So let me play the entire solo for you slowly so you can follow me, okay? It goes like this. One more thing at the end of the song, he goes up to the main riff. Now when he does that, he'll play this octave thing. And he'll play that octave riff while he's playing the main riff in the back. All he do is just play the 5th fret on the E string and the 7th fret on the D string. I'm muting the A string so you can't hear it. You do the same thing on the 2nd fret on the A and 4th fret on the G. And then 3rd fret on the D, 3rd fret on the A and 5th fret on the G. So that's the whole song. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it.